Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm standing in front of my new side-by-side, but it looks just like my old one, and let me tell you why. Alright friends, so if you've watched my channel before, you know I had a Can-Am Defender HD10 XT package. I did a review video on it, I'll link it above. I've used that side-by-side for about 6 months, and I finally decided it was time to do a 2-for-1 deal and get something that is better suited for me long term. And this is it. So what we've got here is a 2023 Can-Am Defender HD10 Limited. This one does look just like my other one, minus a few things, because it does have the same plastics. This unit was originally blue. It's a 23 unit. It was a leftover stock, so I was able to get a very good deal on it. I don't really like the blue. I just like black vehicles. I think they look cool. So while I still had the other Defender, what I did was switched all the plastics, and then all I had to do was buy these door skins. That saved me a ton of money, because if I was to have sold the black one and then decide I wanted to make the blue one black, confusing, right? It would have been like $2,000. So I just needed to do it while I had the other one, and then I sold the other one. So the HD9 was a great unit for me. Worked perfect. I didn't have any complaints with it. I really liked having that Defender, but for me that Defender was kind of a test. I had a Can-Am X3 and I wanted to see if I liked the utility before I went all in and got a, you know, expensive utility buggy. So that one worked out great, but as winter came along, as much as I use this thing and drive it, I really just wanted a cab. And to me, it made more sense to just buy the cabbed one than try to make my HD9 a cab. And had I made the HD9 a cab model, there was a lot of things that this Defender has that the HD9 just doesn't have. And we're going to go over that right now. So starting with the Limited, I'm going to go through some things that this has that the HD9 had and some things it doesn't. Starting, this Limited comes with the same front bumper as the HD9. It has a 65-inch stance. The HD9 has a 62-inch. It has 12 inches of suspension travel. The HD9 had 10. These are the same exact wheels and tires off the HD9 as well, if they look familiar. The Limited comes with some nicer seats. They are the same seats. I feel like these have a little bit more side cushion. They have the nice little leather that says Limited. This unit does have heat and air conditioning. It comes factory with a glass tip-out windshield, the glass rear window, the power windows here. It has the same exact bed size. This rear suspension is a lot heavier duty than the HD9. The shocks, the coils are just bigger. Everything is a lot bigger on this unit. This unit does have the HD10 engine versus the HD9. They are both 976 cc's. I am told the only difference is the head and cam on them. Honestly, I've done the math. This one weighs more than the HD9. It also has like 15 more horsepower. The power to weight ratio is the exact same. It does go a little bit faster. I think this one is limited to 65 miles an hour. The other one was about 60. Not a huge difference. So power wise, I wouldn't be buying this because of the power. So now you might be asking, why did you just get the same exact buggy? Well, I got the same exact buggy because I really like the Defender platform. I think it works really good. It's built well. I enjoyed the last one. I bought a Limited because in the wintertime here in Indiana, it gets really cold. And when it was about 35 degrees or under, it was just too cold for me to want to ride the HD9 open cab. And here we ride this thing everywhere. I ride it down to the woods to cut firewood. We ride it to town, get gas, go to McDonald's, that kind of thing. Do I need it? No, absolutely not. But anyways, in the winter, the open cab was just too cold for me. And in the summertime, if it was above about 80 degrees, having the full windshield on the HD9, it was just too hot to ride. It would get really hot in the cab because there wasn't enough airflow. And you're gonna say, why don't you just take the windshield off? I could just take the windshield off, but there's the off chance that you get caught in the dust or the rain or something and you'd want a windshield. Ideally for the HD9, I would have needed to get a glass flip-up windshield with a wiper, which comes standard on this one. And those things are like 1,500 bucks. So honestly, by the time I put doors on the other one, put the windshield on the other one, put heater on it, it was just never going to be what this buggy is. Now, when I bought the HD9, I did a lot of research, but I didn't know that the 62-inch wheelbase versus the 65 would make such a difference. This one, it's wider, it has more suspension travel. Honestly, it rides smoother even with these stock shocks than the $1,300 rough country shocks I put on the other one. So that is a big plus. So overall, it just made sense to finally get rid of the X3 that I really didn't ride anymore, get rid of the HD10 and upgrade to something that I do use a lot. So now that we've kind of talked about it a little bit, let me show you a few things I've done to this right off the bat and kind of where this is going. You'll definitely be seeing this on the channel a lot, especially now that it's becoming wintertime. I'll be out and about with it. So I'll show you a few things I did to it right away. So right off the bat, I switched my wheels and tires. These are 32-inch trail saws and Sedona Sano wheels. They're 5+2 offset. They really give this buggy a good stance. I did do the Can-Am OEM fender flares. I'm not the biggest fender flare kind of person, but I needed something to protect so this thing doesn't just throw mud and stuff all up on the windows and you can't roll them down. So I did the Can-Am wide flares in the front and the sport flares in the back. If you're looking to do that, buy the parts separately. Don't buy a kit. It is much cheaper. I think they were 140 bucks for all the flares and the hardware. On this buggy, it came with a winch, so I didn't have to put that on. I decided to go with pod lights on this versus the light bar. I think it looks cool. It gives it kind of the Baja look. I did do LED headlights in it. I haven't done any suspension work to it. I do think I'm going to get some Zebro shocks eventually. This HD10 comes with forward arms and high clearance from the factory, so I didn't have to add that like I did my other one. Really enjoy that. It comes with some LED accent lights here, which are pretty cool, and that's something the HD9 does not come with. It comes with this cool tip out windshield, which I love. It comes with a factory wiper, one of my favorite parts. This is very nice. It's summertime, you can flip it open, you can see what you're doing. That right there, I've never actually wanted to spend money on this because they're super expensive as far as adding to any of my other buggies, but I'm really glad it came with it. That is a very cool feature. On this buggy, since it is rather upscale, I decided to buy a real stereo this time. I did the Swamp Donkey overhead stereo. Comes with 4 6.5-inch kickers, a Sony head unit, Bluetooth, Sirius, the radio. It sounds very, very good. I think I might add a sub in the future. We will look into that, which is very nice. You can pull it out and take it where you need. It comes with the classic toolbox on the front. Keep all your stuff in there, take it, work on it. It has the nice little HVAC control here. That is one thing I like better about the Polaris. The Polaris just have knobs. This is all digital. It works, but it's not my favorite. I added a Kemimoto box under the center seat, so that's pretty cool. Extra storage. I do have some shock therapy tie rods coming for it. On my last buggy, I did S3 tie rods, but I wanted to go with the shock therapies this time just because the inner tie rod is not a clevis. In a clevis, you're always going to get a little bit of play, so that's why I did the shock therapy this time. It was a little bit cheaper too. That was a perk. But other than that, I haven't really done much to this buggy just because it comes so loaded up from the factory, and that's what I love about it. Obviously, I tinted it. It looks good. It's all black. It's got black tint. Really helps keep the heat out too. Gives it kind of the sleek appearance. I really like that. So that's really about it. If you have any recommendations or anything I should do to this, or if you have a Defender and there's anything I'm missing, be sure to give me a comment. Let me know. But I think this thing's going to be really good, and I'm super excited to have it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.